So let's talk about the most recent episode of Love Island. Oh my god, who did y'all vote out? Who did y'all vote out? It was crazy. If you took one glance at my YouTube channel, I don't think you would ever expect me to be a fan of Love Island. And let me just say this, if y'all ever see me on Love Island, I done lost the plot, and I mean that literally. If y'all ever see me on that show, the CIA performed some Black Ops 1 Mason level mind control on. Doing research on this show, I thought it was gonna be some ordinary dating show. And I grew up in the golden era of reality TV. We had bangers like My 600 Pound Life, the all-time classic Survivor, a personal favorite of mine, Extreme Couponing, and the king of reality TV himself, Gordon Ramsay. If you like drama, you probably dabbled in a little bit of Jersey Shore, keeping up with the Kardashians. Even in the 2020s, Netflix and all the other streaming services, they tried bringing these dating shows back, and I've seen a few of them. But this show is different. It feels like the entire purpose of Love Island is to manufacture as much lust, drama, and hypersexuality as possible. I'm talking about straight up Diddy challenges. I don't even have to explain the premise of the show. Just imagine the most toxic people you know, most likely from Miami, and you put them all in a villa to see who can display the most amount of red flags possible. And if you're someone who says, "Oh, bro, it's just a show, it's not that deep," like, no, it is. The older I get, the more I believe that we become a byproduct of what we consume. Nowadays, your consumption isn't just the show itself. You got social media pages, commentary channels, the leak pages, TikTok edits, and algorithms specifically designed to keep you consuming this type of stuff. No matter how much you think you're immune to it, your brain slowly starts accepting certain behaviors as normal. Whether it's how relationships work, how people should treat each other, or what love is supposed to look like. With Gen Z being one of the most dateless generations in recent history, the CIA knew they were really cooking with this one. Okay, enough of the conspiracy jokes. Look how my generation is eating this show up. Here's the thing. If this show were like Big Brother, I honestly wouldn't care. That show is mostly harmless, but Love Island has managed to monetize, manufacture, and reprogram one of the deepest feelings a human can experience and express. Love. We talking love, y'all. And I'm not just talking about romantic love. I'm talking about meaningful friendships, companionship, self-respect, sacrifice, vulnerability. There's literally a cash prize attached to the show. Imagine taking the happiest couple you know and telling them, "Congratulations on finding your soulmate. Here's $100,000. Y'all see how insane that sounds? But Love Island doesn't sell love, it sells attraction, it sells validation, it sells attention, it sells desire. But love takes time, love takes sacrifice, love takes commitment. Love means choosing someone or something even when you're at your most difficult point. And that's exactly what the show doesn't teach. Almost every single moment where you get a glimpse of emotional vulnerability, it immediately gets overshadowed by sexual intimacy. Half the time, the people that are even involved in this act aren't even committed to each other. And what's a better way to describe modern Gen Z dating culture? You start to get to know someone, you build a connection, then after a couple days or weeks, somebody else shows up and the other person starts jumping on the other person, literally. And then the other person that's loyal in the relationship is left wondering, "Wait, what exactly are we? What are we?" And the craziest part is the show not only displays these behaviors, it actively rewards them. Contestants become celebrities. People build entire fan bases around them. You have people rooting for contestants like Huda and Ace as if they're sports teams. And these contestants, they gain millions of followers, they get notoriety, they get money, and future contestants watch it and say, I want to be like them. Or even worse, I could be even more toxic to them. And then the show creates an endless feedback loop where controversy becomes currency. And before anyone says, well, people have always been hypersexual. Yeah, that's true. But the internet changed everything. Back in the day, if you wanted to find this type of content, you had to look through the magazines, you had to go to the shadiest part of towns, you had to go out to look for it. Now you can find it on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, streaming service, and now even a free Peacock subscription that they're offering. Everything is just a click away. And for men, content like corn, watch my video on gooning and corn, please. Um, Shameless plug. But anyways, content like corn, it or shows like this, like they're basically soft corn, and it pushes the idea that your worth is determined by how attractive you are, or for a lack of better term, how freaky you are. And this applies to both men and women. Historically, people associated this conversation more with women, but hypersexuality is being promoted by both genders in this medium. If the only thing you have to offer to someone is your body, then what exactly are you saying about yourself? You're commuting to the world. This is my value. And that's it. Your body, the only body that you'll ever have, should be one of the most sacred parts of who you are. Sexual intimacy is powerful. It's literally how you and I were created. We can't treat it as something as disposable, as a commodity, as something that just be passed around. And yet, we live in a world where the most sacred parts of ourselves can be just packaged, monetized, and turned into entertainment. Which brings me to my biggest question. If the show barely teaches sacrifice, barely teaches loyalty, barely teaches commitment, healthy communication, forgiveness, then why do we call it Love Island? Why weaponize and monetize one of the most beautiful emotions a human being can experience? And to give a simple answer, people know that this stuff isn't normal. That's half the reason why people watch. It's a spectacle, it's chaos, it's drama, it's entertainment. Which is ironic because my generation constantly talks about how difficult it is to build meaningful relationships. Yet we so easily turn around and support a show that celebrates the exact behaviors that make building meaningful relationships harder. Like, I'm sorry, not sorry to be the fun police, but maybe you're also part of the problem. And I already know someone is gonna say, relax, bro. This is my guilty pleasure. It's my cheat meal. First of all, this ain't no cheat meal. If you got a monthly subscription, a separate app, weekly episodes, Reddit threads, TikTok edits, Twitter feeds, this ain't a cheat meal anymore. But dare I ask, why do you find entertainment in a superficial version of one of the most powerful emotions that we can feel? Why do we always enjoy constantly watching the worst traits of people? I don't know about y'all, maybe it's just me, but I want to see people win. I love shows like The Voice, where you can see talent across all around America. Maybe it's just my neurodivergent brain, but shows like Coupon Hunters, yo, that takes talent, that takes dedication to be that cheap. I admire that. And the king of reality TV himself, Ramsey, even though Ramsey could be an asshole, excuse me, um, he genuinely highlights a lot of talented people on his television shows. I love that. But back to the love thing. And maybe it's just me being a lover boy. But whatever happened to meeting one person, marrying them, starting a family, and choosing to grow old together? Maybe I'm just a lover boy. But do these love songs not make y'all feel anything beyond just sexual desire and attention? I don't know. This love stuff has really been on my mind. I just finished Songs of Solomon and the other wisdom books, so I think the Ruah is really carrying me right now. Um, but if you made it this far, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Thank you for watching, and peace be with you all.